Right. We are back on the air, and I apologize. I did not realize that the children must have pulled my power source out when they were sitting here earlier this morning. Problem fixed, and we are going to go right back to what we were doing with the stream. Hold on 1 minute while I send this link out to a few of my. Don't come in here, buddy. What? Okay. Hold on 1 second while I send this out, and then we'll finish up today, right? We'll do this. Gotta go here, turn some music back on, and we are going to check out this. The last thing that we were discussing was the Solana chart, and the Solana chart has been so bullish over the last few weeks, but we are actually thinking about shorting here pretty soon. Although I don't know if I'm going to short Solana. We're already in a Bitcoin short, as I talked about earlier. If you want some of those moves, check out our free Telegram group, link in the description, right? But I want to share out some of our share out and make sure that other people know that it's here. Hold on 1 second. And we'll share it on X real quick. I can't get it out everywhere, but at least I can get it out somewhere. And then we can also share this to our free Telegram group. And then we'll get right back to it. All right, post Telegram. There's our free Telegram group. I was going to come to this at the end, but you can check out our closest Bitcoin short. Take a screenshot, but I'll go back to that at the end. All right. So let's just get back to it. And if people join, great. If not, then they can watch it later, right? All right. So I want to take a look. That's our free Telegram group, and I will show you some stuff towards the end of the stream today, right? All right. We finished talking about Solana. The first profit taking zone being 290. I do believe we'll have a correction. I'll probably also take some profits when we get back up to the top of this range, which is about 250 on the chart. I don't like to hold on too long. I like to ladder my profits in, dollar cost average into my positions and ladder out to my profits. So I would have nobody, not me, not anyone in this space is going to be that good at timing the top of the market. So you come up with a strategy that forces you to take profits throughout. And a little bit later, probably the next live stream, we're going to talk about how we can use liquidity pools to ladder out of the market. I like that one. But anyway, so let's take a look at some more altcoins. Take a look at Sway or Sue. As you can see, if we go on the weekly chart, I got to get rid of this. Just already have all my levels off the fibs marked and also some support and resistance on the chart. Our breakdown sits right at the $3.35 level. $3.40 level. That's one that we're really going to watch over the next little bit because I do believe we have a downtrend. We touched down to the bull market support band over the week and we pumped back up to almost $4. But Sway is now on a downtrend. I wouldn't be surprised if we correct, and then eventually I do think it will continue on. Like maybe we hold on 1 second. Maybe we bounce a little like this. Maybe we right here break below, right, and we head down. Maybe we get all the way down to 276. Maybe we don't. But then after that happens, we gain more strength and we break back out, retest, and then continue on. My point is that I would not go all in at this point. I think we're going to get some better entries in the near term, unless you're one like me who tends to just dollar cost average into some of your high conviction plays and utilize DeFi and leverage trading to amp up your positions. All right. So the next one I wanted to take a look at is TAL today. We've been exploring staking TAL. We actually did some staking with a few subnet tokens, right? And the subnet tokens we looked at were specifically, hold on one second, I need a different chart. We'll just use the Coinbase one, that's fine. All right. This is the TAL chart, right? And it's been in a downtrend. It got as high, this second high, which was a lower high of $462. We've been kind of trading right around the bottom of the bull market support band, around 350. If we break below this, I expect us to revisit around 310, 311. I think this could be an excellent place to accumulate TAL. TAL has the same tokenomics as Bitcoin, and I like the way it's kind of decentralized AI companies working on the chain. You can stake your TAL within the protocols, earn yield, show support for the tech, I guess you can say. And some of them very much have a use case that should and possibly be considered in this market. But TAL is one we're very bullish on, but we have had a blue cross down on the daily stochastic RSI and on the weekly. We're going to have to keep an eye. We still have a blue cross up, but that doesn't mean much of anything because that blue cross up could easily head back down. So this is one we need to keep an eye on. A break below around 334, 335 is going to show that we may revisit lower prices with TAL, but that just gives me more time to accumulate. So I'm good with this one. Now let's take a look at AVAX. This one was not in the list, but holy wow, it is pumped this week. AVAX over the last 2 weeks has pumped, 40 some odd percent. We have flipped some of our DeFi positions. We do have a AVAX lending position that has helped us to accumulate more AVAX and an AVAX Black liquidity pool that's probably performing very well on VFAT. We'll look at in just a minute. Why did AVAX pump? They are developing a kind of a fund. This fund is going to require a lot of buying of AVAX, so therefore people are piling in before that possible price appreciation. But this one could already be priced in. It's hard to say at this point. So I don't know. I'm watching the bottom of this range, which is $30, and then of course the lower part of the bull or the upper part of the bull market support band, which is $24.70. Okay, but that's AVAX. We'll have to revisit this one later, but I'd love to see us get back to like $58-$60, and that's what I'm watching on this chart. Awesome, but that's not in the near over the next 3 to 4 months. Anyway, let's take a look at our favorite darling aerodrome, the DEX on base. As you can see my fib levels. Please watch our video of our aerodrome price prediction. Aerodrome has looked so on fire recently. It topped off around $1.60. It popped up again to $1.37. I do believe we are going to see an aerodrome correction here in the near term. Maybe the lower end of the bull market support band around 90 cents to $1. Maybe even this lower range. Let's check it on the daily. Actually, I mean, really, we could go as low as here. I did not mean to move that. Oops. Anyway, we'll just redo these fib levels at a later time. So let's take this off the chart. All right. So anyway, this chart looks so dang bullish. I would like to see eventually a higher high. Go back and watch our Aerodrome Finance price prediction video. Check that out and tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. All right, let's move on. This is the final one I really wanted to look at today. Let me find it. Actually, we're going to hold off on our last two altcoins because I wanted to kind of wait and check these out closer to when we talk about Avantis. Now, we're going to take a break from the charts. I want to go over some news real quick. First is FTX recovery plan. they're going to be distributing about $1.6 billion in a third wave of crypto payments. Please be careful of scams as this starts to happen. We've gotten, I did not have much money into FTX, and I've had too much issues trying to get my $100 back so they can just keep it for all I care. But some classes are receiving a huge amount of recovery because of some of the price appreciation that has occurred with the assets that were held onto. And what's interesting is, what do you think? Are these people going to sell? Are these people going to buy more crypto with what they get back? It's hard to say at this point, but this could affect the markets. So it is something to pay attention to over the next month. This payout should start on September 30th. 2025. All right, next, this one's an important one I wanted to talk about, okay? And crypto ETFs, they are opening the floodgates because the SEC has just approved listing standards, okay? Listing standards are going to impact the price, but I think this is going to follow more with your large caps, ones that institutional investors are going to be more likely to invest into. Correct, right? So these could open up well, let's talk about what it is, okay? Listing standards just means, instead of companies trying to issue a crypto ETF and taking months and months and months, maybe years to go through the regulatory process, because they all have to kind of build their own plan to show to the SEC. This now being standardized, this standardization should make crypto ETFs, the approval process could probably drop down to just maybe 6 to 10 weeks. That's only a couple months. This is going to drive demand. Companies can start issuing crypto ETFs. The first one was KRYSTAL's large cap fund. I had this as a trust. It did not do very well because I bought at the top of the market cycle last cycle, but this is being basically converted into an ETF. Now, what's interesting is you could have companies that start to issue out ETFs like this, the Coin Market Cap 20 index. And this is just an example. There's many of them out there. And this fund would include 65% Bitcoin, 15% ETH, 5% XRP, 4% BNB, 3.6% Sol, some Dogecoin, some TRX, some ADA, some Hype, some Link. Let's look at the other 10: AVAX, Sway, Stellar, Bitcoin Cash, Hedera, Litecoin, Kronos, the one that Trump is getting involved in, with Crypto.com, Shiba Inu, Toncoin, and Polkadot. This could create a crypto ETF that just follows that index. And that's what I think you're going to see coming with some of these ETF standards. They already have a Solana ETF coming, or here, a XRP ETF that just started trading, and there has been some demand for these. Although, again, I think all this is going to bleed out with this correction for a little bit. But again, that is how I'm interpreting the market right now. But this is big, huge for the crypto space, and something that you really need to keep an eye on. This could be a huge catalyst for altcoin season. Now, next, I want to kind of change gears. We're going to talk a little bit about DeFi news. So Ethereum developers are now in the Fusaka upgrade release schedule. They have moved it up. It is now being launched with Ethereum mainnet in December. And the launch is going to be, December 3rd, I think? This is going to lower L2 costs, but it's also going to make it easier for people to deploy protocols, AI agents, things like that. And what's interesting is the developers on this are saying that it's going to help the capacity of transactions, which will speed up the throughput, the output. It's also going to, again, lower costs for all the L2s. I know a lot of people say Ethereum is an old dinosaur, but there's so much money sloshing around in Ethereum. Look at it on DeFi Llama, and I do believe that all those old ETH holder bags are going to pump the crap out of this token. Right, or to this cryptocurrency. Now, this Fusaka upgrade could be a huge Ethereum and Altcoin catalyst and may play into what we're talking about as our Ethereum beta plays. We'll visit this later and see whether I'm right or wrong with this one, but I'm feeling pretty confident. So that's how I'm playing the game. And like I said, remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do want to show you how I am playing these markets. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about is as far as the news today is Solana versus Ethereum. Which chain is winning the battle for DeFi liquidity, right? To make a long story short, Ethereum is going to probably be the one that outperforms Solana. We've talked about this a lot. Not that I don't think Solana is going to perform well. I do hold Solana, as you know. But the Ethereum continues to lead in total value lock, has more established protocols, and this is the big one. Institutional trust and maturity. Now, eventually Solana could flip them. It's not going to happen this cycle. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw myself out there, and I am on the side of the ETH bulls for this one. Even though I hold Solana, market, book market, we'll check this again at a later date. But Ethereum still maintains the first place setting for largest developer of DeFi activity in this space, right? Now, I want to take a look. There was some information on AERO. AERO was the #1 DeFi protocol in revenue over the last 7 days. This was with the debut of the community launch, which kind of gets out those market makers, which pump up the price where we don't get a good deal anymore as retail. So it's supposed to be kind of more inclusive of retail investors. It has pumped up AERO's price. That's the 60% increase over the last 90 days. And they even outperformed Pump.Fun and Hyperliquid, the other two largest performing dexes in this space. And then following way far behind would be Jupiter, another one that we talk about occasionally, right? The next thing I wanted to talk about is a Jupiter, the MET or Meteora airdrop. So the MET airdrop, this is a DEX, a really good DEX to provide liquidity for, Meteora AG on Solana. The larger your Jupiter stake is, the larger your allocation of MET. Now, if you've been farming on MET or providing liquidity or anything with Meteora, then you qualify for this airdrop. More details will be coming out later, but they're saying larger stake equals larger allocation, and it's going to be time-weighted staking, meaning a longer commitment will make bigger rewards for you. This is one that I'm going to be watching, and I find it very interesting because some of my research has shown people are saying that they're not going to just drop tokens in your wallet. They're actually going to give you a proportion of the MET and USDC LP is what I think they are. And then you'll have to make the option of whether you want to withdraw and sell off your LP, or do you want to farm it and make some fees because you believe in Meteora. I might go half and half on this one. I'm not for sure. I know that my allocation is going to be small, $100 to $200, but gonna do something with it. And I wanted to make everyone out there aware of this one if you haven't already heard so. We'll keep you posted in the near future. Next, I want to get into our altcoin review. We published an article. You do have to be a member of Dad's DeFi Space to get this one on AVNT's protocol. Now, these protocols are going to be perpetual dexes where you can trade leverage, kind of a competitor to Hyperliquid, which has been a darling of this market cycle. There's one that's sponsored by Coinbase. That one would be AVNT. And then there's one that is supported by Binance and CZ. Now, the Binance one is called AERO, and we'll talk about that one in just a minute. Okay? Hold on 1 minute. I got to let the dog out. Sorry. 1 second. All right, back to what we're talking about. So AVNT and AERO, the one supported by Binance, are going to be competitors to Hyperliquid. We have been researching put in some of our research in our free Telegram group of which one's going to perform better. I'm actually leaning towards starting to amass a position of both. We already have an Avant position, and we also have 2 Avant liquidity pools, one paired with USDC and one paired with wrapped ETH that we will look at in a minute during my Crystal Vault review. So is Avant the new Hyperliquid? And after this, we can even talk about Aster, because I want to talk about that one too, at least briefly in this video. So Avant, the new Hyperliquid, these protocols are kind of like David versus Goliath. And that's how I framed it within my article. What's interesting is David killed Goliath, the small guy, with a rock. And here's what the beauty is. They may not outperform Hyperliquid, but these are not, especially Avant's, not even $1 billion protocol yet. And that is low market cap, which means you could have the potential, I could have the potential of getting a good multiple with this investment. Again, not financial advice, just things that I'm looking at. So what's interesting is these 2 challengers that are stepping into the battlefield for DEX plays are Avantis and, again, Aster. And here's what's interesting, right? As the new Hyperliquid, when I published this article, Avantis only had a $171 million market cap. I think now it's a little bit more than this. The fully diluted value is around 818 million. Now, I'm pretty sure the Binance sponsored one is already bigger than this. The total value locked on the protocol when I published this was 18.1 million, 30-day fees 1.2 million. So right now the protocol is kind of a baby, but I think these 2 are going to be very much large narratives at the later stage of the cycle, and I want to be on those trains as they occur. I think this is a good play, in my personal opinion, and I am investing myself. So what's interesting about Avantis is that they are handling already millions of dollars in derivative trading volume despite their thin liquidity pools. And they're getting bigger and bigger over time. That proves that there is genuine demand, even with fragile liquidity. So it's a risky play. It's a risky play, but this could have a huge payoff, right? They have risk-managed liquidity pools that can take heavy downside and perps. But what's interesting is they have like advanced risk management. If you're wanting to farm on their protocol, I have not looked into that yet, but maybe we should in the near future. They have trader loss protection, synthetic real-world assets that you can trade, base integration already, which is going to be huge for Coinbase, and institutional grade backing, but so does the other one too. Now, the tokenomics on Avantis, it's okay. We got on-chain incentives, invest around 28%. This is for staking, liquidity, rewards, et cetera, et cetera. We have investors in the project. These are your institutionals and your VCs at 26%. This is totaling 50. Team and advisors, 13, a 12% airdrop, 9% system grants, and a 6% liquidity reserve, right? If you want to read through the article, we go through the team, but it has a great team. It's backed by Pantera Capital, Galaxy Digital, the Founders Fund, and even the Base Ecosystem Fund. So there are many institutional clients that are super, super bullish on this one. Now, the Avantis community is still early, so it's hard to say how this is going to develop over the next little bit, but the trading's happened. There's incentives in place. There's supposed to be a government's evolution, and I think that you can invest in Hyperliquid. It's going to perform well. These maybe even better. So I have plenty of plays this cycle, and I want to go a little more degen-y looking at these DEXs that almost operate like a sex exchange. And I wish I could have gotten in on Coinbase or Crypto.com or Kraken, any of those exchanges back in the early days. But I just wasn't here to do that. This is an opportunity where you could possibly do that. Just saying, right? But enough about Avantis, right? You can see right here, because this middle line, this is Hyperliquid's kind of volume or fee revenue, excuse me. Avantis is very low. It doesn't even compare to GMX or DYDX, although I think this is going to surpass both of these in the future. Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses of Avantis. Number one, has billions of trading volume, millions, even though there's a low total value lock, which is interesting, right? Public founders, strong institutional backing, that's a positive. There's trader protection, LP risk management. These are differentiated features that other protocols don't have. And then there's weaknesses also that we need to talk about, such as a very thin total value lock. It's competing directly with Hyperliquid and other DEXs, and execution risks. Like something could fail, it could get hacked, and something like that's not going to do well with a protocol like this. So base case for me is about a 2 or 3x on this one. Bullish case would be a 10x, right? Bearish case is it goes to 0. So very, very risky play, but one you really should check out. So if you're interested in this, please check out the full article at Dad's DeFi Space. Consider joining, and please become a part of our ever-growing community. Now, let's take a look now at, one second, at Aster. Now, this is a really new one, and I wish I would have gotten on it in the last couple of days, because if you take a look at this chart, it is bullish, right? It literally has taken on a 136% gain when I heard about it. I did not jump in here when I should have. I'm so disappointed in myself. It's already pumped up to $1.40. It just keeps going. I kind of want to jump into it, but I always tell myself I'm not going to chase pumpers, and this is definitely a pumper. I am looking for a good entry. I first found out about this at about a $900 million market cap. It's already at a $2.29 billion market cap. This is the one that is supported by CZ Binance. The 24-hour trading volume is $697 million. Now, it only has about 25% of the circulating supply. I have no information on tokenomics community, any of this yet. It's just one that I'm just starting to research, but I did want to introduce it to everyone. Aster, supported by Binance. It is a new competitor to Hyperliquid, just like Coinbase's Avantis. I'm bullish on both of these plays, even more so, I think, than Hyperliquid. I think they are going to have to start to offer some new strategies, maybe lower fees, to kind of stay competitive if there's going to be some more makers in the space that are competing against them. Just something to think about, and I wanted to make you aware of both Aster and Avantis if you don't follow me over on X or in the free Telegram group. Now for the fun part. We're going to be taking a look at my Crystal Vault portfolio. We now have 2 vaults that you can become a part of. Joy, right? And not a lot in these vaults at this point, but the total value is about $1,173. Now, this is a brand new vault, wrapped ETH. I want to just highlight it first. It's super small, only $100. We're going to build it up, and you can follow on the channel as we build these portfolios out. I don't want to add a whole lot to this because I expect the market to go down. That means wrapped ETH will go down. And I want to wait till I see where we settle in, and then I'll probably start adding more and more to this portfolio. Right now, we're sticking with just Avantis, but I would love to add a position of Aster if it becomes available on the base blockchain, because this one is on the base blockchain. This negative 42 P&L is from my old positions. So far, this one has actually been performing pretty well. Our 7-day APY, 349%, right? And here's our position. This one's out of range. That's okay. I do not want to we'll rebalance this one in just a minute. But this wrapped ETH Avant position, this is my wider one. It's about to go out of range too, which is no good. So these will not be earning fees soon. We'll probably set for just a little while, maybe rebalance this one. I'm going to wait 48 hours and see what's happening in a couple days. This is why they're not big positions yet. I kind of want to see how they're performing, how wide I need to make the range. This one I obviously did not make wide enough, so we're going to probably add some onto this side of the range. adding more wrapped ETH into the position. But we're bullish on Avant. I'm okay dollar cost averaging on the way down a little bit, but I do want to wait and see what kind of correction Avant gets before I enter with size. But this is a new Crystal Vault that we're going to start sharing out if you're interested in joining. I'll put the link in the comments if anyone's on the live stream, and if not, I will put it in the description when we finish up. That is our wrapped ETH pool on Crystal Vaults in the comments if you would like to join. Again, like I said, this is a super small one, and we're just playing with it right now, right? Now, let's go into our biggie today, right? And I'm going to go back into Dad's DeFi space, USDC Vault, and Crystal Finance. This one is about $1,000 right now because I withdrew a little bit of capital out of it that I'm using. I put into some stablecoin positions. I was waiting for a drop before I deploy any of this, and we're going to collect a little bit of our fees today off the Avant position. I have a 100% range, smack dab in the middle. This position's been performing well. I'm $61 in profit. We've made $20 of fees. I need to claim this $7. We're just claiming our fees as Avant and as USDC because I want to, the Avant, I want to just hold on to for now. Now, when it drops, I may add it to my liquidity position because it's just going to convert to USDC as it goes up, which is me taking profits ladder right now, right? And what's so interesting, these Avant is hot right now, so the fees have been juicy, okay? Super juicy. That one's gonna work. We'll try that a little bit later. All right, anyway, so let's review some of these positions real quick. So just to let you know, as far as Dad's DeFi Space Vault, we did make some changes. We have a wrapped ETH USDC narrow range position. It's around 10% wide, earning about 50%. This is something that we're going to widen out and not worry about making so many fees on because I want to use it to ladder out of Ethereum, but I am not going to change until we get closer to the upper part of the range, or I can widen the range if we drop below $42,085. But this is kind of our core position within our USDC fund. It's earned us around, since rebalancing, $5. 46% APR. The age of this one's 28 days. I've rebalanced twice. Then this is our older USD position. I run this one because I like to watch the APRs, kind of compare the two. This one only has like a few dollars in it right now, and it's not earning as much yield as the one on Pancake Swap. So we allocated all our capital back to Pancake Swap, and the fees will go into this one also. This final position is our Avant full range position. It does not earn as much yield. It's earning about 289% right now. It's a full range, so it's half USDC, half Avant. And as this one goes out of range, we'll probably allocate more of our capital into this infinity pool. I think just because I don't have to watch it as much, but we will lose out on some APR. Now, using this 100% range, I'm able to get the APR up to around 700%. It's 35% of this entire portfolio. It has been earning very well. And that is our new position within our Dad's DeFi space, USDC Vault. Now, what's interesting is we're going to have to follow and see how this performs during a market correction because I do expect yields to go down. I do expect the price to go down. But this entire USDC one is up $100 or 5%. Now, we have earned a little bit of revenue on that. That's for, we do earn a little bit of commission when people join our DeFi space USDC Vault or the Ethereum Vault. This USDC Vault has had people in it before. Right now, I believe, yes, I am the only one in this pool, so it's all my capital. But if you'd like to join, please do. I can farm with us. Now, what I want to do next, quick look at the VFAT portfolio. We are almost rounding to the end of the stream, and I want to take a look at my farms and my liquidity pools. Now, this is about a $1,400 portfolio. And what's so interesting about this portfolio is, again, it's been earning awesome rewards. We got our wrapped ETH USDC around $500. And now this is a lower position, 25% range, earning 26% APR. Our AVNT USDC on Uniswap on this one, we're running 100% range. We're almost out of range, but it is earning 1,800%, which is crazy. We have a small wrapped ETH AERO position. I took a lot out of this one. I'm probably going to take some out of this one too, because I want to have USDC to deploy after the drop. And then finally, the rest of the positions are ones I'm just watching right now. The one I'm most interested in is this wrapped ETH syrup position and wrapped ETH link position, but it has not been earning good fees, so I withdrew out of this one not too long ago. Our entire portfolio is sitting at $1,426 and is earning an average APR of 539%, although it's skewed off because of the AVNT position. So I'd like to check this again in a couple weeks. I do expect the APR to drop in this one, because it is flying right now because a little bit of degen yield farming with this AVNT USDC. Now, a little hint of advice: don't just jump into any of these pools. Please watch the charts, develop your own support and resistance, enter at the bottom of the range, not the top of the range, because the value will drop on you. Now, a lot of people in the group have actually been asking about where to leverage trade, where for safe onboarding, where to buy spot. So I wanted to talk about some advice this week about what to do when trading or investing in cryptocurrencies, right? Hold on one second. What I wanted to talk about is, if anyone is new into the crypto and DeFi space, you should always start with spot trading. Do not trade with leverage until you know exactly what you're doing, okay? Exactly what you're doing. Because with spot trading, you never, ever want to invest more than you can afford to lose. Same thing with leverage trading too. We have been liquidated before. It's not a good feeling. Never, ever risk more than you can afford to lose. Leverage is an accelerant. It accelerates your gains, but it also can accelerate your losses too. Now, if you are into using centralized exchanges, please consider using some of our links in the description to help support the channel. But our favorite for USA are Kraken, Gemini, and Crypto.com. I also use Coinbase, but I have not been happy with a few of their things lately, but that's a story for another day. Now, if you want to really help support the channel and you want to trade some leverage, I would consider Blowfin, BitUnix, or Weeks. Now, all three of these exchanges have great rewards if you use our link below, and it helps support the channel. We do get a small commission for your deposits for your trading, just to keep everyone in the loop. But these are exchanges I use, and the ones I use the most right now are Kraken, Blowfin, and then third would be Gemini. After that, Weeks and BitUnix. We also are going to be partnering with a new exchange here shortly. I think we're going to have a lot of really good rewards to offer, especially deposit bonuses. So stay tuned for that. That's in the near term. And understand, for the beginners, you need to learn SEX onboarding safety, right? How to connect your bank account, how to set up two-factor authentication. We're going to make a video, some like kind of a beginner series where we're going to talk more about that. But one last thing you should consider, right? Leverage on Weeks or Blowfin or BitUnix, whatever exchange you're using. It can blow up your accounts so fast, okay? But if you use it responsibly, it can be a tool and not really a trap. It's so interesting because what I want to bring up is my Blowfin account real quick. And you can look at some of my positions. One good, one terrible right now, but that's okay. So this is the Bitcoin chart on Blowfin. You should be seeing it on the screen right now. wanted to take a look at, this is my Bitcoin short 40x position. I've already taken a little bit of profit off it. If you zoom in on the screen, you can see it's a moderate size position, $10,000. It's leveraged at 40x. Has a little bit of realized profit and a ton of unrealized profit. I'm sitting at about 33% gain right now. We're going to ride this one down. If we hit back down around 115.5, went to 115.3, I'll probably skim a little bit more. What I'm really waiting for is us to drop back down to the lower end of the range, and I'll probably take a little bit more of the profit. But this is a great exchange to use, non-KYC, tons of rewards going on right now, and you'll help support the channel. All right. One of the final things I wanted to ask is, let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see. What pools are you farming right now? Do you see Bitcoin topping, or do you see it happening a little bit later in the cycle? What should I cover in my next Yield Hunters, right? A Sway blockchain pool, an Aerodrome pool, DeFi tuna. What do you want? Join our free Telegram group and Dad's DeFi space to check out our latest Yield Hunters, which is a deep dive on the AVNT wrapped ETH pool that I just shared with you. And even if you missed the live stream, I'm posting my vault moves, my leverage trades, and everything else in the free Telegram, and then later in my private group on the website. Please join, become a part of our community that I'm building right this moment. Now, what I would like to say before the end, please consider joining us on Rumble. We did have our YouTube temporarily banned for about 24 hours. I don't want that ever to happen again. So add us on X. You can always get in contact with me. Join our free Telegram. You'll always see my moves. Download our free crash course. It's free. Education is the best thing you can do for yourself in this space. And add us on Rumble if you're on Rumble. That way, if YouTube bans us, you can still check out our content there. And please, before you leave, have a wonderful weekend. Go touch some grass. And I'll see you on the next stream and in my next video. I appreciate each of you. Peace.